truths that don't set you free, that don't heal, that don't bring people closer. There are truths that, when spoken aloud, don't build bridges. They start fires. But no one prepared you for that, did they? Since childhood, they filled your head with the idea that honesty is always the best option, that saying what you feel makes you brave, that opening up brings you closer to others. But they never told you the other half of the story, the raw half, the one Machiavelli did understand, the half where truth, when misused, is not a virtue. It's exposure. It's vulnerability without armor. It's showing the world exactly where to break you. Have you ever felt like you knew too much but couldn't share it? As if your clarity were a silent threat. Something others aren't ready to hear. And you're not willing to give away? That discomfort isn't paranoia. It's intuitive intelligence. It's the instinct that the most lucid minds have carried for centuries. The one that whispers, "Stay quiet. Watch. Don't hand your soul over for a round of applause." Because in a world where everyone speaks to be seen, the one who holds back rules. And here begins the fracture with your old belief system. If you still think that transparency always builds trust, get ready for a philosophical slap. Truth is not innocent. In the hands of the naive, truth is a confession. But in the hands of a strategist, it's currency, a weapon, a calculated silence. Not everything you know should be said. Not everything you feel deserves to be shared. The world isn't built to hold your truth. It's built to dissect it. Every time you spoke hoping for understanding and got contempt instead. Every time you showed your pain and received distance. Every time you were honest with someone who wasn't ready for your transparency. You learned something you didn't mean to. Not everything should be said. And those who say everything lose more than respect. They lose power. Because in this society, silence isn't weakness. Silence survives. You're not broken. You're exposed. And that is far more dangerous. But this video isn't here to comfort you. It's not here to bandage the wounds you opened by saying too much. This video is a mirror, a blade, an alarm you won't be able to silence again. Because what no one told you, I'll say now, raw and unfiltered. You're showing too much. Not with your actions, but with what you reveal without realizing it. You've turned your life into a display case, and you don't even know who's watching. And that's what makes it lethal. Because predators don't announce their presence. They don't bark. They don't criticize. They don't confront. They watch. They wait. They learn. While you vent, they take notes. While you speak your fears, they find your cracks. While you share your story thinking it sets you free, they're already planning how to use it against you. Because in a time when everyone's shouting, the one who stays silent becomes the threat. The one who doesn't reveal rules. Your truth, the one you think sets you free, the one you defend as if it were sacred, can also be your greatest weakness if you don't know how to handle it. Because when it's said without strategy, truth is not honesty, it's self-sabotage. Machiavelli saw it centuries before you. Power doesn't lie in saying the truth. It lies in knowing when to say it, and above all, when to hold it back. Some truths don't enlighten. They explode, and when you release them wrong, they don't just destroy who you are. They destroy who you could have been. So stop believing that silence is cowardice. Silence is art. Silence is protection. Silence is the foundation of any strategy that intends to endure. If you don't know how to stay quiet, you don't know how to rule, and if you're still trapped in the fantasy that being transparent will make you invincible, you need to reach the end of this video, because what's coming next isn't theory. its brutal practice of power. We're going to talk about how to turn truth into a sword, into a shield, into a weapon that's elegant, dangerous, and precisely measured. And I'll warn you now, in a world where truth isn't honored but used, every word you speak could become a bullet or a rope around your neck. You decide who pulls the trigger, or worse, who tightens the knot. We live in times where exposure is glorified, where being authentic is confused with emotional striptease in public, as if laying your scars on the table makes you more human, more trustworthy, more real. But they don't realize that in the process, they're giving away the only power that really matters: mystery. Because truth, when given without boundaries, becomes ordinary. And you, when you expose yourself without filter, become predictable, vulnerable, targetable. Today, many believe being sincere means telling everything, showing everything, reacting to everything. They rush to share their miseries, their frustrations, their emptiness, believing it builds real connection. But it doesn't. All it builds is a file, a detailed emotional map of their insecurities, their limits, their weakest points. And who do you think collects that map? Exactly. Not your friends, not your followers, not your trusted therapist. The quiet ones collect it. The observers, the ones who don't say anything. But remember everything. Because in this era, dominance doesn't belong to the loudest. It belongs to the best listeners, the ones who wait, the ones who know that information isn't power, it's control. And that's where an even deadlier enemy appears: the illusion of the safe space. That false sense that you can be yourself without consequence, that you can open up, cry, speak from the heart, and nothing will hurt later. Let me be clear. There is no such thing as a completely safe space, not even with the people you love most, because everyone at some point acts in their own interest. Everyone. And if they don't know what to do with the truth you gave them, they'll end up using it, maybe unintentionally, against you. The most tragic part? It's already happened to you. You know it. You've lived it. And yet, you keep telling everything. You keep hoping this time they'll understand. This time they won't betray you. But the problem isn't them. The problem is the expectation. The naivete of believing that vulnerability will make you unbreakable. Do you know who never falls for that trap? Those who actually hold power. They don't reveal how they feel. They don't explain what they think. They don't justify what they do. They don't need to, because they understood long ago that mystery is not weakness. It's control. That silence is not emptiness. It's strategy. And that not saying what you know is often far more useful than saying everything. Misinformation isn't wisdom. It's exposure. And that's the mistake no one taught you to avoid. Because the more you think you're freeing yourself by speaking your truth, the more you're tying yourself to it. Do you know why? Because the moment you share something deeply personal, you expect something in return: understanding, empathy, reciprocity. But what you get isn't always that. Sometimes all you create is a silent emotional debt. Invisible, lethal. The trap lies in what's left unsaid, in that feeling that someone now holds a piece of you, a part they may never use, but it's there, quietly threatening. And you know it. Not because they've blackmailed you, but because the moment you revealed that part, something shifted inside. You stopped moving freely. You started calculating, holding back, not out of ethics, not out of respect, but out of fear. fear that the truth you once shared willingly could now be used against you. It doesn't matter if they never do. The simple fact that they could is enough, and that's the real cost. It's not judgment. It's not criticism. It's self-censorship. It's the betrayal you inflict on yourself to protect something you never should have given away so easily. Have you ever felt indebted to someone just because they know something about you? Have you avoided decisions out of fear that it might come out? Maintained dead relationships just to prevent someone from exposing what you once confessed? There it is. That's the prison. A cell built by your own mouth. A key handed over with the purest intention. And now you're the one guarding it. You thought speaking made you free. But freedom isn't about saying everything. Freedom is knowing exactly what to say, when to say it, and to whom. Truth, without filter, without strategy, is a slow poison. You won't notice until it's too late, until you realize you're acting only to prevent that truth from becoming a weapon. And this is where Machiavelli becomes more necessary than ever. What he taught wasn't cynicism. It was vision. A raw understanding of how power, emotions, and human nature actually work. He knew that unspoken knowledge is stored power. That not expressing your emotions isn't always repression. Sometimes it's protection. That truth isn't a divine right. It's a resource. And like any resource, it must be rationed. You want to know who holds true power in this age of oversharing. Not the one who speaks the most, the one who listens the best, the one who smiles without revealing anything, the one who knows your secrets and never lets you guess whether they'll use them, the one who masters the art of silence, of waiting, of subtlety. While you vent, they're strategizing. And when you think you're in control, when you believe you're winning by being real, it's already too late. Because you exposed yourself. And now you're playing on their board. Repeat this until it's etched in your bones. Truth is valuable, but it's not free. Not everyone deserves it. Not everyone will know what to do with it, and you have no obligation to give it away. Because this world doesn't respect the one who bears their soul without filters. It respects the one who knows when to wear a mask, when to speak, and when to disappear. The one who moves in silence while others chase spotlights. Nothing is more lethal than the silence of someone who knows everything and says nothing. Still unsure? Think this sounds dramatic? Fine. Here's one question for you to chew on alone. What was the last truth you told that you later regretted? Don't answer out loud. Just feel it. Sit with it. Because you know it's there, a mental scar that never quite healed. And do you know what's the darkest part of all this? That even if you understand every word, even if something inside you is catching fire, there's still a part of you that resists. That naive part that wants to keep believing you can be completely honest and still come out unharmed. That wants to scream its truth to the world, holding on to the childish hope that maybe this time, someone will hear it without betrayal. Let me burst that bubble with a philosophical scalpel. Not everyone deserves to know you. Not everyone should have access to what you are. Listen closely. There's a massive difference between being authentic and being naive. And naivety comes with a cost, because most people don't want to know you in order to care for you. They want to know you so they can place you, so they can calculate how far they can push, so they can measure just how manipulable you really are. And if you give them all the data, if you hand over the entire map of your mind, your emotions, your fears, your cracks, they won't respect you. They will control you. Because in this game of power, the one who reveals the most is the one who loses the fastest. Now you see it, don't you? You don't need to share everything you feel to be deep. You don't need to show everything you think to be real. Sometimes silence isn't omission, it's declaration, a silent wall, an invisible barrier that only those who've seen too much know how to read. Because being private is not coldness. It's high-level protection. It's emotional strategy. It's selective survival. And there's something more, something no one dares to say aloud. But you're ready to hear it now. Your story doesn't need to be understood to be real. No one needs to comprehend you for your truth to carry weight. You didn't come into this world to be explained. You came to build something so solid, so yours, that it doesn't need words to make itself known. Most people go through life begging for validation. The true architects of power don't beg. They don't explain. They don't share their blueprints. They simply build. They just walk, and the ground trembles after. Now it's your move. Are you going to keep giving fragments of yourself to people who can't even hold themselves together? Are you going to keep believing your worth depends on being understood? Or will you start building a power that's silent, selective, and lethal? Because what begins today, if you have the courage to apply it, is not just a change in mindset. It's a mutation, a strategic evolution, a reconfiguration of your place on the board. You will learn to observe without being noticed, to listen more than you speak, to respond less, to analyze twice as much, to hold back, to dose carefully, to fall silent with surgical intention. And then, on some ordinary day, people will feel it. They won't be able to explain it. But something in you will no longer be the same. They won't know how to get to you. They won't be able to read you. And in that exact moment, without saying a single word, you will have won. This message ends here. But maybe your new life begins right now. A life where you no longer need to tell your story. You just need to write it so precisely that whoever sees it has no choice but to respect it, without even knowing how you pulled it off. And if you've made it this far, it's not by chance. It's because something in you has already awakened, something that's ready to become strategy, calculation, a silent threat. I want you to leave a mark, but not a loud one, not a cry for attention, a mark no one sees coming, but everyone feels, like the wind before a storm. Now listen closely. If this video twisted something inside you, if you feel that something has been reconfigured in how you see the world, go to the comments and write just one phrase. Power is not spoken, it's felt. That's how I'll know you're one of the few, one of the ones no longer willing to play by someone else's rules, but ready to write their own from the shadows. And if you want more content like this, if you want to keep feeding that part of you that doesn't want to be seen, but wants to become unstoppable, subscribe. But do it knowing this channel isn't for everyone. We're not here to motivate you, we're here to deprogram you. See you in the next video, or not. Because by then, you may already be operating on another level. And on that level, silence becomes your new voice. Now disconnect from here, but you start moving without noise. Because the ones who make history never ask for permission. They only leave echoes, impossible to ignore.